Welcome, PSY 309 students. This is my week 14 commentary, as we have 2 weeks left in the semester. First, my apologies. It's a bit delayed. This is midweek, but I'll get the last one there on time, and hopefully that will do. This week, we're looking at materials outside of the course textbook on the topic of caregiving. And at the same time, the primary focus is what I call good endings. And that means essentially as many students as possible being successful in the course in a way that's meaningful to the students as well as myself. So to that end, you ought to be reviewing your grades in Blackboard. And first thing is that if you need an extension of time, you must negotiate that with me before the end of the semester. I don't do incomplete grades after the last day of the semester, so be warned of that red line. Secondly, hopefully most of you now have completed your oral presentations, and peer review forms on your presentations have been filled out. You'll be sending those to me, but be sure you also collect a set of your own feedback so that if for any reason they don't get to me, you'll have the backup copy. So again, I'll accept those electronically, I'll accept those through ITV mail, and I'll certainly accept those through US postal mail. I should be back in Maine not before May 14th. So if you're sending them slow mail, then there'll be a delay on finishing your grading, or I'll change your grade when I receive those packets upon my return. It's still, so that's the peer review packet. Look over those forms, by the way, make sure that your name is on those that have feedback on your presentation, and if possible your location, so that we can send the printed packet back to you if need be. Okay, that's peer review forms. Thirdly, I guess, your course projects. Those are due at the end of next week, and I think most of you are in pretty good shape on those, and the whole point of the oral presentation was to help you get an early start on those and also get feedback from your peers in how to make them better. So polish them up, post them in Blackboard, and be done with them, and that will be another piece of good endings. Participate in the course evaluation opportunities, if you will. There are 3 of them. Particularly recommendations to future students, I think, would be great. Remember that this is the first time I've offered this course, and I'm going to be looking carefully at your feedback as far as how to improve the course, both in terms of design and content. So those are the major pieces with respect to good endings at the end of next week. Let me return now to the issue of caregiving. I've assigned 2 supplementary resources for this week. Needless to say, you won't be tested on those, but I think they're very useful. They're very relevant to adult development in Maine particularly, and frankly what the Portland Press Herald series is describing is a wave of challenges that relate to the demography of Maine and so forth, that will affect your life as a member of the Maine community, even if you're in Florida, which one of our students is. So I would encourage you to study the Portland Press Herald series, and also introduce yourself to the National Alliance of Caregivers, both their website, but more importantly their network. I think it's one of the really encouraging pieces of our waking up to the ways in which adult development and aging are more than individual issues. They're really collective cultural issues for us. Okay, finally, today is my last day in Europe, and I'll be returning to Boston tomorrow, and then Maine a few days after that. It is not too late to connect with your Czech peers, or Professor Nisponska, or Professor Raskakova as well. They're all most interested, as some of you already know, in working with you on your projects, giving you a cross-cultural perspective, and orienting you, frankly, so that you'll learn more about global citizenship and some of the really amazing things, and I don't use that word lightly, the amazing things that are there for you to be interested in as far as Czech culture is concerned. I might add that one of the benefits from this trip is the increased likelihood of there be student grants to visit the Czech Republic for a short period of time, as I did, something like 2 months. That's not an exchange program just for faculty, but rather for faculty and students. So just a heads up on that. Finally, I'll be making one more commentary for next week. And the theme of next week is one that I'm enthusiastic about, which is to say the pleasures of aging. And it goes without saying, I think it's common sense, that anyone who looks at a textbook such as ours and looks at the rather stereotypic ways of thinking about adult development and aging, particularly in Maine, are likely to either fall into the trap of looking at aging as a disease or looking at it as nothing more than a problem list. And so this last week will be in part a celebration of the fun of aging and the pleasures of aging and success in aging. So stay tuned for that. I think it'll make a good week, not too heavy as you're getting in your final assignments and reaching the end of this semester. And some of you I will hopefully see at commencement. UMA's commencement's coming up a week from Saturday. So we're getting down the road. I will be here around the summertime as well, here in Maine that is. And hopefully we'll have the pleasure of working with some of you even after the semester's over. So have a good week, and I will be tracking in Blackboard and reading my email, and anything I can do to help with good endings. Even a video conference is still in the realm of possibility. So have a good week.